When respect becomes a mask, the Jorge Martin Aprilia meltdown. Ladies and gentlemen, MotoGP fans across the world, welcome to a sport where fractions of a second decide legacies, where loyalty is rarer than grip in the rain, and where contracts are just the first draft of betrayal. Today, we talk not about engines or lap times. We talk about respect. We talk about loyalty. And we talk about Jorge Martin, the reigning world champion, the rider who conquered the grid with Pramac Ducati in 2024, who defeated factory machines on a satellite bike, who beat the best on a bike that, according to some, was second tier. And yet, when Ducati had to choose for 2025 between their satellite star and a six-time world champion, they chose red over loyalty. They chose Marc Marquez over Jorge Martin. And in that moment, Martin's loyalty snapped. He jumped ship, straight into the arms of Aprilia. A new home, a new challenge, a new future. Or so we thought. Because now, just halfway into 2025, Martin doesn't look like a man building a home. He looks like a man eyeing the exit. A man playing chess when the team needed a soldier. Let's rewind this mess. Martin came into 2025 as the newly crowned king. But the crown felt heavy. A crash in Qatar, injuries, delays, and while others raced, Jorge sat, rehab, frustration, watching, waiting. Aprilia, meanwhile, held their breath. They waited for their golden boy to return. They trusted. They kept silent while the media screamed. Then came Silverstone. No, not just a Grand Prix, a statement. Marco Bezzecchi, yes, the same Bezzecchi who was supposed to be Martin's support act, won the British GP on that very Aprilia. Not just a win, a bombshell. Aprilia didn't post memes. They didn't argue. They won. And that slap on the table was meant for one person only, Jorge Martin. It was as if Aprilia stood on the top step and said, "Our bike can win, Jorge. So what's your excuse?" But Martin had his response. Oh, he did. It took him 48 hours. Scripted, calculated, polished, like a press release disguised as a confession. Here's what he said. "I've always done so respectfully, clearly, and with the sole intention of taking control of my future as a professional athlete." Respectfully? Jorge, let me ask you something. Was it respectful when Aprilia stood by you while you recovered when they could have prioritized Bezzecchi after Qatar but didn't? Was it respectful to thank the team by activating your exit clause mid-season, right when they were giving everything to bring you back to full strength? Was it respectful to speak to the media before speaking to your engineers, the same ones who burned midnight oil to build a machine around you? No, Jorge, that's not respect. That's PR damage control dressed in entitlement. You want to talk about respect? Let's talk about what Aprilia did for you. They took a risk, a big one. You were coming off a world title, yes, but you were also coming off rejection. Ducati didn't believe in you enough to give you red leathers. Aprilia did. They didn't just hand you a seat. They handed you a factory, full works bike, tailor-made development, top engineers, Alex Espargaro's legacy, the whole package. And how did you return that faith? By planting one foot out the door before even winning a race for them. By drawing attention away from the team that's still fighting for wins while you're writing heartfelt letters to Instagram. By creating uncertainty in the very garage that was built around you. Unfortunately, the circumstances that have occurred as a result of the crashes have conditioned this phase. Conditioned this phase? Let's call it what it is. You didn't deliver. You got hurt. You missed races. It happens. But what shouldn't happen is turning your back on the people who waited patiently. Fabio Quartararo didn't jump ship when Yamaha struggled. Pecco Bagnaia didn't run to KTM when Marc Marquez joined Ducati. Even Maverick Viñales, for all his faults, gave Aprilia years of service through thick and thin. But Jorge Martin, you gave it half a season. And when you saw Bezzecchi perform, when you felt your leverage slipping, you didn't fight harder. You reached for the eject button. Then came the most insulting line of all. There is no conflict or reproach. I just want to be able to look ahead with clarity. No conflict, Jorge? This entire situation is conflict. Conflict with expectations, conflict with your own ego, conflict between what Aprilia gave you and how little you gave back. Clarity? You had clarity when you signed the contract. You knew what you were doing. You insisted on the exit clause from day one. That wasn't about flexibility. That was about power. That was you telling Aprilia, I'll stay unless something better comes along. And now that something better might be flickering on the horizon, you're ready to go? No, George. You don't get to talk about clarity now, because Aprilia gave you certainty. They gave you a platform. They gave you trust, and you turned it into leverage. What's worse, you didn't even have the courage to own the decision. You wrapped it in the language of victimhood, like you're the one who was wronged, like Aprilia failed you. That is not how a champion behaves. A champion leads in silence, fights in the shadows, bleeds for the team that backed him when the world turned away. Instead, you put your future above your present, and now you're watching that present slip through your fingers. Because while you're negotiating clauses, Marco Bezzecchi is winning trophies. While you're writing open letters, Aprilia is building a new hierarchy. And while you're explaining your clarity, the paddock sees you for what this really is. An exit in disguise. Aprilia may not say it out loud, but inside Noale, the feeling is clear. You don't want to be here, and you're acting like it. And when a rider sends that message, the team reads it, loud and clear. You think you're protecting your future? You might just be burying it. Because the MotoGP paddock is ruthless, and loyalty is currency. When you break it, teams don't forget. Just ask Vinales, just ask Zarco. Ask any rider who thought they could play both sides and come out clean. This isn't just about what Jorge Martin said. It's about what he revealed. His words told us everything we needed to know. He doesn't believe in Aprilia, not like they believed in him. Because if Jorge Martin gets his wish and breaks free from Aprilia early, his 2026 options are narrow, but intriguing. Let's break them down. Option 1. Honda HRC. Luca Marini's contract ends in 2025, and with Marini recently suffering a brutal injury at Suzuka, that door might be creaking open. Martin could partner Joan Mir in a full factory setup. And with Alex Espargaro, Martin's close friend, now a Honda test rider, the stars almost align. Except Espargaro insists he's not pushing Martin to jump ship. Sure, Alex, we believe you. But even if Jorge lands at Honda, it's not 2010 anymore. This isn't the Honda that dominated the world. This is a project in recovery, a gamble, not a guarantee. Option 2, LCR Honda. Less glamorous, more flexible. Zarco is in talks for an HRC move. Marini's future is unclear. Chantra has options, but no guarantee. Martin could land here with factory backing.